You remember. We should test how many people can fit on this back. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, that's the correct way to say it.
Find a shady spot?
They themselves do, right? They have a list of when it's coming out. They're online, but I would
Yeah, I mean, when this is over, that's your Christmas card.
Gavin Wax here, President of the New York Young Republican Club. We're here rallying for our rights, our liberties, against this ridiculous vaccine mandate that the dope from Park Slope behind me, Bill de Blasio, is trying to implement. If you want to get a vaccine, get a vaccine. If you don't want to get a vaccine, don't get a vaccine. You shouldn't be able to show me your papers. This is a complete transgression of our rights. I don't want to live in a society where we have two segments, where there's the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. You have two different sets of rights. This is a violation of HIPAA. This is a violation of our Constitution, and we should be free to do whatever we want and live our lives in peace. So that's what it comes down to. We're going to have a lot of great speakers, and it's going to be a good time.
You know why we're here? We're here because we're sick and tired of the way our local government is running the show right now. They're mandating everyone, doesn't matter, about showing papers. Same stuff that is basically segregation law in a nutshell. And I don't know if you took a look at me. I know a thing or two about segregation.
Hey everybody, this is Scott Pressler. We are here outside of Gracie Mansion in New York because what we're doing is we want to fight back against vaccine passports and vaccine mandates. This is about freedom, this is about liberty, this is about choice, and we want our representatives to listen to us.
Hey Mike, what's going on? Great to be here. We're here protesting Communist de Blasio. We are not going to comply with these crazy, draconian, arbitrary mask mandates, and we're not going to let the city go back into the dark like we were in 2020. So if you're out here, you're fighting for freedom, because this is what freedom looks like. Thank you for being here, and we look forward to fighting this all the way to the end. Thank you.
And we're out here at the anti-vaccine mandate, not anti-vaccine, anti-vaccine mandate, key phrase there. We're anti-maskers, we're out here to support our country, fight for freedom, because they're trying to take our freedoms away one by one until we're under a communist, tyrannical situation. We're not going to let that happen. Us patriots out here, we're going to fight for our country, we're going to get our voices heard, we're going to do it the right way. We're not going to burn, riot, or loot. We're going to use our freedom of speech to change people's minds, to change the country. We got red pills to give. Stay tuned. The shirt says it all. My body, my choice. How you like that, leftist?
I'm
centrist, atheist, and immigrant.
way. Pro-choice when it comes to abortion, pro-choice when it comes to masks. Pro-choice all the way because it's just freedom. Your body, your choice. Same thing for abortion. Thank you. And I love America.
We are here to end the vaccine mandate, not to be pro-vax, not to be anti-vax, but to say that every New Yorker deserves the freedom to choose whether they want to or not to get the vaccine.
We were down at the anti-CCP rally down in Washington Square. And then this crowd started dwindling out and everything like that. It's all the people from Tibet, Mongolia, and stuff like that, Hong Kong, and we went down here and supported those people, right, against communism, and now this year communism stuff with the state.
What do you feel about the vaccine and mandates and passport mandates?
We're absolutely against that. This is America, and our constitutional rights is what comes first, and we need to make sure that our Constitution and our freedom of choice, my body, my choice, whether to take the vaccine or not. We are not against the vaccine. If you want to take it, go right ahead. But we should have that choice, and it should not be mandated that we have to show a passport to go into the store to get food. Who is the government to stop us from getting food? First, like that governor over in Michigan wanted to stop everybody from buying seeds when they want to grow their own food. I said, who the hell is this government? Okay? Really, we got this garbage has to end. It has to end. That's the end. All right, and this is why we're out here today. Show that we, the people, are united against the tyranny that's overtaking this country with them forcing this vaccine on people, especially under 30, children under 30, seriously? What's the percentages of those people that are even getting it, number one, and then forget about dying? That the kids have to wear masks in school and everything? What's that for? What's the reason? There is no reason. All right, it's all for tyranny, it's all control of the people. That's all it's for.
This is the first of many. We're going to do lawsuits. We're going to keep rallying because this is unacceptable. USA! 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 USA!
USA! USA! USA! USA! USA! USA! USA!
Woo! I got to give props to this guy for holding that flag and sign during that whole anthem. What's your name, man? Andy. Give a round of applause for Andy. Biggest flag I've seen. We got the press here. I hope they do an honest reporting of what here today. This is a peaceful gathering of all stripes and colors, all backgrounds. It's a very New York crowd. I see tons of different people here. They're gonna try to defame us. They're gonna try to smear us. But we all know the truth. We're all here today, standing tall and proud for our flag, for our country, and our God-given rights. It's a beautiful thing. My friend, the next mayor of New York City, Mr. Curtis Sliwa.
I want to thank Gavin Wax and the Young Republicans for bringing us all together. There are Democrats, there are Republicans, there are independents in this crowd, all of who are united around the concept of freedom. Freedom of choice. Freedom. That's what has assembled us here today. And Gavin, I'm glad you brought up Gracie Mansion because, as you know, I not only need to be there to save our city, and to let people have individual rights and freedom and not the boot crushing the life out of our economic system, your ability to raise your families, your ability to choose. But as you know, I need it as a sanctuary for all the dogs and cats that we kill in the shelters in New York City, because we're going to have no-kill shelters. But I also represent unions that are here today. Unions for choice. Many of you may not be aware, I'm a member of SAG-AFTRA. I've been a member of SAG-AFTRA proudly for 30 years for broadcasting on WABC and talk radio. And what has happened now is that the unions have been told, doesn't matter if they represent municipal unions, doesn't matter if they represent county or state unions, or federal workers, or in the private sector, they have been told that as of now, especially with Comrade Bill de Blasio, the part-time mayor, the dope from Park Slope, imposing the first mandate in America as of tomorrow, with no explanations of how he's going to enforce it. He claims, wait till September 13th. Notice, ironically, once school is supposed to be back into session, although we begin to wonder, the unions have been told that if your membership has a vaccine, they'll be able to work. If they don't have a vaccine, either because their religious persuasion deems that they not have a vaccine, or their medical condition deems that they not have a vaccine, or as Americans of choice, they're not sure of the vaccine because it's not even FDA approved. Instead they'll be swabbed once a week. But we know whether it's Pfizer or Moderna or Johnson & Johnson that gets the first FDA approval, it'll no longer be choice in the workforce. They'll tell you, you either get vaccinated or you're fired. Or stay home. Don't show up at work. And who does that hurt? All the working class men and women who've been forced out of their jobs during the pandemic, but especially people of color, black people, Hispanic people who have a lower vaccination rate. I think we all can agree here. We'd like to see people vaccinated. If they want to get vaccinated, make it available. We want to pass herd immunity at 70%. We're well on our way to getting 80% of our citizens vaccinated. And the city is offering $100 and all kinds of tchotchkes. The private sector is offering $1,000 or more. There are no needs for these mandates. The mandates are specifically meant to keep people like de Blasio in power, the city council in power, so that they can dictate what we do in our lives and also for our children. And let me finish on this note. We know that finally we've been told public school will be back in session after a year and a half of destroying the academic life of our children, forcing them to stay at home because they told us it wasn't safe in the classroom for the teachers and the children. Although to their credit, the parochial schools and religious schools proved them wrong. They proved them wrong. And now we hear that there are rumblings that maybe there won't be in-school training. Maybe it'll have to be virtual. Maybe people will have to be at home. That's not what we were promised. We were promised if you take the vaccine, de Blasio said it, you won't have to wear masks. Remember that? They promised that. The president promised it. Fauci promised it. They've gone back on their promise. Why should we trust them with anything else that they say? So I suggest to all of you, we put aside our political differences. Republicans, conservatives, Democrats, liberals, progressives, independents, libertarians, and join together in solidarity because we are America, the land of the free, where choice is given to the citizens. We trust the people, not the politicians. We trust the people, not the politicians. We trust the people, not the politicians. Thank you very much.
Stefano Forte.
Thank you all very much. My name is Stefano Forte. I'm the president of the New York State Populist League. We're a group that wants to spread the tenets of populism throughout the state. I just want to ask you all a couple of questions. Are we going to listen to Bill de Blasio's mandates? Guys, Bill de Blasio's still sleeping. Let's wake him up. Are we going to listen to his mandates? That's what I'd like to hear. Are we going to allow the elites in this country to dictate what we can or can't do? Are we going to allow them to mask our children for another year? I can't hear you. Loud enough for Biden to hear you. There we go. Our leaders are more concerned with seizing control of our own lives than giving people the freedom to choose. Under Bill de Blasio's draconian mandates, we've seen people's lives ruined, marriages destroyed, and businesses closed down. Bill de Blasio single-handedly destroyed New York, and now we're going to trust him with our health? No way. Hooray!
Thank you, Gavin. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Everyone in the back, thank you, guys. Let's thank our friends in the NYPD every day doing a great job. And let's give it up for one guy who put this all together, Mr. Gavin Wax. I got a nicer beard than him, though. He's trying, right? Friends, every time they told us things would get better, things got worse. First they said 15 days. That didn't work. Then it was a month. That didn't work. Then they said, just as soon as we get the test and trace score ready, we'll open the restaurants. Everything will be back to normal. What's up with that test and trace score? What do they do? What do they do? Then they told us as soon as we get the vaccine, things will be back to normal. Then they told us when we hit 70% vaccination, things will get back to normal. Then they came out, and Cuomo and de Blasio, they gave each other high fives. 70%, we did it. Did things get worse? Yes. Did the restrictions get eased? No. They only got more strict, more severe, and now we have a city where there are two classes of people. There are people who made their choice to get the vaccine. Great. There are people that made the choice to not get the vaccine. Great. The era of collective sacrifice is over. The era of individual personal responsibility on COVID is here. Good news for you guys. Good news for you guys. There's a vaccine that you can get. It's free. It's widely available. It'll probably make you pretty safe from COVID. You should probably get it. But if you don't, I don't care, because I'm not your dad. I'm not your mom. I'm not your doctor. It's not my job. There's no class at City Hall that's educating me or Bill de Blasio about medical practice. I don't know anything more than anyone else on vaccination. So stop listening to people like Bill de Blasio. Listen to your doctor. Listen to your family. And again, the age of personal responsibility on COVID is here. The age of individual and collective sacrifice has to be gone. Not to mention, the geniuses and Cuomo, they told us that restaurants only accounted for 1.4% of transmission. 1.4. So it's not everyone's problem now, it's restaurant owners' problem. And that shouldn't be the case. So friends, I want you to go out, still try to patronize the restaurants that will patronize you, whether you're vaccinated or not. Still try to have a hamburger in every place that will serve you a hamburger in New York City. And make individual choices for yourself, make the best choices for yourself, and we got to end these mandates. God bless you all, and God bless America.
That we will reclaim. A friend of mine, he's running for governor of this beautiful, great state, and the son of one of our best mayor. Please welcome to Andrew Giuliani.
We have an amazing job here gathering this all out right here.
I've got to tell you, as we heard before, let's give it up one more time for our New York Police Department right there. The men in blue, every single day. Every single day they keep us safe. And I know on January 1st, 2022, after you elect Curtis Sliwa to be the next mayor of New York, that the war on cops will end in New York City. And I can promise you, as your next governor, on January 1st, 2023, the war on cops ends in New York State, period. So let's talk a little bit about mandates and vaccine mandates. And let's talk about a document which seems to be, I would say, irrelevant to the current resident of Gracie Mansion, called our United States Constitution. There's a 14th Amendment in the Constitution that is the due process clause that protects our individual right to put what we want and what we do not want into our bodies right there. So let me ask you a question just on hypocrisy. Why do we need to carry around a vaccine passport when voter identification is considered to be racist or anti-Semitic? Am I the only person that sees the hypocrisy in this? This is a political push that is being mandated by politics, not by science. What I want the data to lead the way on this. That is the important thing. We need to let the science and the data-based science, not the abstracts, the data-based science. What do I mean by that? So if you read any of the studies now, you see a lot of may or can or should. No, I want to see numbers. I want to see data. That's what matters. That's exactly right. It is the real deal, and it's what matters, and it's what's missing far too often from our political discourse when it comes to this. I'm going to tell you something right now, and with a bunch of elected officials and politicians and people campaigning for office, maybe politicians wouldn't say that. Want me to tell you something? You shouldn't listen to me about whether you should or should not get the vaccine. I am not the authority on this. He is not the authority on this. De Blasio is not the authority on this. Our elected officials should not be the authority. You want to know who the authority is? This should ultimately be a conversation between you, your immediate family, and your doctor. It's that simple. It is that simple. Politics should not be involved. As our next mayor, the 110th mayor of the city of New York, Curtis Sliwa, said, I don't care if you're red, I don't care if you're blue, I don't care if you're a shade in between. The truth is, you should be discussing this with your family. You should be going through the data and going through your particular situation and your medical situation. That should dictate whether or not you get the vaccine or not. And guess what? You should have an apolitical conversation about that with your doctor and your family. You should actually talk about it and say, you know what, is this right for me to do that? I'll tell you, in my current situation, I had COVID last November. I still have natural antibodies. I just got it tested 3 weeks ago. That is never talked about. It is never talked about the fact that I have the immunity. I am only getting forced and asked, why aren't you getting the vaccine? You're promoting super spreader events by not getting the vaccine right there. They are not actually looking at it and saying the science right now does not show. There are no data studies right now that show that somebody with natural immunity will actually benefit from getting the vaccine. Where's the science gone on all this? Exactly. So let's let the data lead the way on this. We have a lot of other great speakers coming up, so I don't want to take too much of your time. The only thing that I will say is this. When I'm governor of this great state, I will make sure that you have a voice in our political process again. That you are not being mandated whether or not you can participate in society, as Bill de Blasio has said. That should not be a political decision. That should be a decision that every single New Yorker should make, period. We need to make sure that we protect our Constitution. We need to make sure that public servants are once again serving the public and not serving themselves or serving their own special interests. Having worked in the White House for the last 4 years, not the last 8 months, believe it or not, Joe Biden did not invite me to work in the White House. I probably would not have. I know that's shocking to many of you right here. But in the previous 4 years, from 2017 to January 20th of this year, one of the things that I learned was just how the political process actually plays in the science. Remember, the people that the CDC, that the FDA are talking to in administrations, they actually are looking for jobs with who? The Pfizers, Modernas, Johnson & Johnsons afterwards, and they're wealthy jobs. They're high six-figure, low seven-figure jobs. That's not saying that most are not doing the right thing. A lot are doing the right thing. But hold on, no, because I think it's very important that we actually really point this out. What it is saying though is there is motive there. And there needs to be actually real people with integrity who are making those decisions. So for us, it's imperative upon us to make sure that we recognize that we get through all of this clutter that's out there, because there's so much, it's tough to really even tell what the truth is right now. When we actually are talking about how we are going to vaccinate ourselves, how we're going to vaccinate our kids, I want to make sure more than anything that we are following the data and the science that is free from politics on this. We cannot let politics lead the way, period. Doesn't matter if it's red, doesn't matter if it's blue. We cannot let it lead the way. So I'll leave you with, we the people of the United States of America, we need to make sure that we actually have a voice again in all this. So I have to tell you, as you are out here rallying to make sure that we have our individual rights protected here in the great city of New York, in the great state of New York, in the great country of the United States of America, let's continue to be loud. Let's continue to make sure that we will not stand for these unconstitutional government mandates. Because we the people are strong. We the people are loud. And guess what? We the people can affect change the way you're doing right now. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, my fellow workers. God bless you. God bless the great city of New York. God bless the great state of New York. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you. I want you all to give a warm, loud Long Island welcome to our good friends from Loud Majority, Kevin Smith. What's up, New York City with that, baby? Yeah, we were here before the election. We took the caravan all the way down Fifth Avenue in front of Trump Tower, and we're back again, fighting against that latte liberal living in Gracie Mansion. It's time to get Curtis into that building. I have been watching for months now, sick and tired of these limousine liberals like Lori Lightfoot and Barack Obama and Big Bird doing whatever the hell they want, making us live like second-class citizens. And I've got to say, enough is enough. It is time for us to stand up united. Curtis said it's not about left, it's not about right. We're all New Yorkers. We've come together after tragedy before, and we're going to come together now. It is time to end this crap once and for all. All right, now I want to introduce my business partner, one of my best friends, who's Deshaun Farish. New York City, let me hear you make some goddamn noise! There we go. That's what I like to see. I see all these big, beautiful, smiling faces. Not a lot of people are wearing the face diapers, and if you are, that's okay. If you think it makes you feel safe, that's okay. I'm fine with it. You want to get a vaccine? Get it. I'm not getting it. I got COVID in April. I got the greatest antibodies in the world. I don't need your vaccine. Hey, I tell people all the time I can go to the Wuhan lab and lick every doorknob and still not get sick right now. I don't need your vaccine. But what I want to talk to you about is I want to ask you guys, did you feel that on Monday? Did you feel that weight come off of our shoulders on Monday when he announced in 14 days Andrew Cuomo's no longer our governor? Hey, when I say we know it did a lot of big problems, touchy-feely Andrew Cuomo, 14 days to flatten the perv. How about that? So what we got coming up in November, obviously, is a huge election for the greatest city in the world, and I'm proud to say that the Long Island Loud majority is going to do whatever it takes to get this man, Curtis Sliwa, in that building, to get that man out of that building, to make sure a loser, a fraud, and a liar like Eric Adams does not occupy that building, because this is our city, and we're going to take it back block by block. And the way we're going to do it, block by block, district by district, over the last couple of months, it has been my pleasure, it has been my honor to be working with, hand in hand, one of the women who told Bill de Blasio to get the hell off my block. She's running for City Council, District 19. She's a firecracker, she's a fighter, she's my good friend. Give it up for Vicky Palladino.
Good afternoon, New York. Rise up, rise up. Let me hear you say, no more mandates, no more mandates, no more mandates, no more mandates. Freedom, 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 freedom. That's what this is all about. Your freedom, my freedom, our freedom. We are not red, we are not blue. We are the people of the city of New York, and we proudly turn our back on Bill de Blasio, Governor Cuomo, and these politicians who are literally had their boot on the neck of the middle class. That is not allowed. You are crushing the middle class, the very backbone of this city. We matter. We matter. The people in business who barely got through the last year and a half is struggling. Now he wants us to show papers before you go into a restaurant, or you want to go to a gym, or you want to get your hair cut. What's the answer? The answer is no, no, no. The answer is do not comply. I beg my small business owners to please do not put that little sign in your window that says show me your papers, because if you put that in your window, then I have to say I'm sorry, but I can no longer come to your business. I am a small business owner for 37 years. I also helped run my sister's manufacturing company for 15 additional years as her chief operating officer. I know a lot about business, and I know what it costs to run a business. And you know what, but de Blasio and the rest of you in City Council, we've had our fill. Do not underestimate the power of the people. Our biggest thing, freedom, say freedom, 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 freedom. That's right, that's it. We did it in the 60s, we did it in the 70s, we'll do it in the 21st century. You're not telling us what to do. We tell you what to do. You work for us. This election is super important. And I said it this morning, and I've said it 100 times. I'm going to say it again. How do you kill the snake? You cut the head off. And that is why we are voting for Curtis Sliwa. Because the only way to kill the snake is to cut its head off. You cut the tail off, the tail grows back. No more. No more. I said it 4 years ago, but now I can say it really. It's time to go. I said, Bill de Blasio, you're out. And guess what? He's out. Thank you very much, everybody. Remember, no more mandates. 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 Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Thank you, Palladino.
Vicky, 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 Vicky.
Another round of applause for Vicky Palladino. White Stone strong. She was the first to tell de Blasio to get the F out, and she's not going to be the last. I also want to
just wanted everybody to look over there and thank the NYPD for their thankless work. Thank you, officers, for being here. We guarantee you this crowd loves you. Thank you. I just wanted to start off by saying, who here loves their freedom? Make some noise. We are the land of the free and home of the brave. We need to remind these communists who hide behind walls and privacy fences that we will not comply to their draconian rule. Let's remind one thing. My body, my choice. Isn't that what they love to say? My body, my choice. My body, my choice.
You have committed cyber harassment. You called me. I never called Walter Matheson Jr. I have it recorded.
I am Walter Masterson Jr.
That
you can follow me on Twitter on Walter Masterson. You can follow me on.
Was stolen right when you started cyber harassment.
Wow, this man's not delusional at all.
Guys, we want to get Hey, yo, buddy. Okay, this is time to play. This is the play. Take your story somewhere. I'm backed away. I want to get a report. I want him arrested. I'm backed up. Please arrest him. I want to file a complaint for cyber harassment. Okay, sir. Will you? It's cyber harassment, cyber stalking, credit card fraud. Arrest Walter Matheson Jr.
Arrest him for exercising the freedom of speech? That sounds ironic.
Fuck you! You're with him.
Yo, he need to take his mask.
Yo, the way I told you before I wrote this every album naming names. They hate me because I'm educated. I'm not gonna take it. I don't care who says it, no. I got the facts and I'ma let them flow. Let's go, liberals America. A price for a portion of Christians. Claim to worship Jesus but submit to the system. Freedom was bound but stop being the victim. And fearing God is the beginning of wisdom. All lives matter. Why would you want to segregate? Lives matter unto ISIS. That was yesterday. I'm trying to move forward like kinetic energy. It's the kingdom mindset. Let that resonate. Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, and Pfizer. I'm not gonna take it, no. I don't care who says to take it. That's what you told us before. Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, and Pfizer. I'm not gonna take it, no. I don't care who says to take it. That's what you told us before.
It's an X-Dab from the back. The man just let me overdose. My bro was clean.